Good morning, Anambra. If you're just joining us, we're about to get into another topic of discussion this morning, and it's actually a different one because today we will be talking more about photography. And a lot of people will ask, what is photography? We want to know deeply because today the world all over is celebrating World Photography Day 2022. Well, it also happened to be in the month of August, and I tell people that month is actually blessed. Well, I'm still here. Eberu Gonna is my name, and of course, IJ is still here with me.
Why is the month of August blessed?
No, you don't want us to start that now.
No, because you are involved.
No, but you don't want us
because you were born in August.
No, we're not ready for that discussion now.
Okay.
All right, well, we'll be talking about the World Photography Day 2022, and the theme for this year is pandemic lockdown through the lens. We've got two professional photographers in the house, and they're going to be telling us more about this career, because I know a lot of people, would want to go into this career. A lot of people are already in this career, so they'll be talking more about it. They'll be talking to us about the celebration. They'll be talking to us about the challenges of being a photographer. This morning we have Comrade Obinna Okonkwo. He is a videographer. Good to have you on the show, Obinna.
Good day.
Comrade, good morning. Good morning. And of course we have Dennis Kelubia. He's a photographer. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Let me begin. One is a videographer, one is a photographer. What's the difference between two of them, comrade? Let me begin with you.
Both of them are actually the same thing. When you talk of video, you talk more of motion.
Okay.
Then when you talk of photography, it's more of
still.
Pictures, yeah.
All right, World Photography Day 2022. Let's hear you. How is it going? What is this day all about?
Really, it's going on nice. It's a day that we normally celebrate every year, 19th August. It's been done worldwide, not just in Oka here, all over the states. Like in Oka here, we are doing a lot of showcasing of our pictures. We'll also be having a rally later in the day, and at the end of the day, there will be interactive sections on how to move the profession forward.
Okay. Kelubia. Did we get that name right?
Kelubia,
that's my name. Kelubia.
Kelubia, that's my name.
Okay, so we want to find out what is it that motivated you into videography or photography? Photography.
What motivated me to become a photographer is the need to create good pictures. As a child, I always liked taking pictures with phone. And I decided to perfect the skill by going for training. And the customer satisfaction also gave me more zeal to do further. And I pride myself because it gives me opportunity to meet a lot of people, share contacts, share ideas. I travel a lot as a photographer. It's very interesting. So that's what actually gave me the zeal and motivated me.
Okay, so you went for training.
Yeah.
What's the training like? Is there any school of photography or whatever?
Yeah,
how did you train?
Like a local training, like I would say for the start, artisan, I learned under a professional, already existing professional.
Okay.
And I decided after that training, I went further online.
Okay.
I learned from a photography academy in Lagos some time ago. Then this Fine Photo, they have a place where they print and they have a training session. So I learned under them and I started practicing. It's been fun. Over 10 years as a photographer.
10 years? That's
10
a
years.
decade.
Yeah, a decade in business.
All right, let me ask you now, Comrade Obinna, celebrating World Photography Day today, 2022, world over, 19th day of August, and this happens every year on the 19th day of August. And today, let's look at this theme. It says pandemic lockdown through the lens. Why is that? Why is that? What actually, what's behind this theme?
During the pandemic, everywhere was just on lockdown. And then the photographers are people who look at things through the lens. It's not the way that you see it that we also see it. We see deeper into it. We get the details. So we are looking at the nation in general,
okay,
not just the profession, things that we're meant to do. Looking forward to what are we expected to see within this lockdown. Just like everywhere now, we are experiencing economic difficulty. As cameramen, we saw it coming earlier because we look deeper into things. And also solutions, things that we should do to be able to curb some of these effects. So when you talk about pandemic lockdown through the lens, We thought more of looking into details of things and what to do to curb them.
Okay, this thing that you said now just reminded me of a story I heard when I was growing up. Looking deeper into things, and they said there's this man that refused to appear for a photograph. And what is it? He said he doesn't want anybody to see what he's wearing inside. so do you guys see what people wear inside as you draw your lens?
Not really. But we get the details. The much the eye can see within the lens, we get the details.
Let's talk about that details, because photography, I feel, is an art, right? Now, when you talk about getting the detail, seeing deeper, what exactly do you mean? What's the point you're trying to make?
There's a saying that a photograph speaks more than 1,000 words. Okay. Every photograph definitely is meant to have a story to tell. You don't just snap pictures for snapping's sake. Whenever you take a picture, even before snapping it, you should already have in your mind, this is what I want to get. This is the message I want to pass. This is the story I want to tell. So when you now capture it, that's why most times when you see a trained photographer, he snaps, he will preview it. If he gets actually what he needed, he will nod his head like it.
How do you train, apart from what Kelobia said? How else do you train to say that this person is a professional photographer? Because I know a lot of people carry cameras and snapping.
Of course. There are certified professional photographers who have been there even before us.
Do you have a body?
We do. In Anambra State we have, in Oka we also have. So
what does that body do?
The body checkmates the operation of the cameraman and those in the profession.
How do they checkmate? When you go to occasion, you see about 10, 15 cameramen coming
even
after
people
you,
who were not invited,
harassing you and all this kind of a thing. So do you register and then?
We do. Normally we register professional cameramen. That's why even when you're having anything and you needed a cameraman, it's always good you look out for the ones that are certified. How do we know them? You ask questions. We normally issue ID cards. Okay, you can also ask the body if you have the link. Okay, that's what I wanted to ask now. If I want a photographer, a professional photographer, and I have this event to be covered, how do I get a professional photographer? One, you can ask around. You can also search online to get. Our body is registered and we have some of these things documented online. You don't have office, you don't have where you stay, you don't have anywhere you say that this is where you get us if you want us? No, just the contacts. Okay.
Let me come to you now, Kelobia. Let's talk about the significance of today. What does it mean for the citizens world over? The significance of today, which is World Photography Day. What does it mean for people around the world?
World Photography Day is a very interesting day that photographers all over the world will look out for to actually celebrate, because it's a day that actually reminds them of how the industry has been over the years, like running through August for a whole year. So it's always interesting to look back how you have run through the whole year.
1 minute.
Hello, good morning. All right, go ahead, bro.
So people all over the world, the photographers who are practicing and are successful in it, they will always want to look back how they run their whole 1 year. It's always interesting to look at, like, there are some persons who have created a memory of their wedding. Anytime they look at the memory, they say, if not for Dan Kelly. You know, at times, there are some people that when you call them to come and cover an event, you don't need to tell them what to do. They know what to do from the beginning to the end. Like covering you when you are dressing, following you from the hotel, that is from the hotel room, following you to the church, at the reception, the other photograph. The most significant part, or way you actually know how professional a person is when you are taking the other photograph of a wedding. Okay. It's always demand. You see a lot of people snapping with phone, snapping pictures with phone. It takes the professional photographer to be able to capture the image, the main event,
and not just all those other people who are using
phones. Okay. Because all those other people are photo distractors. If they are snapping, you see them trying to distract you. We call them photo bumpers. They are snapping, they want to get them, but they are also necessary because they pose before the main photographers to tell other people that they are, to tell people that this event is going on live. So they are all necessary. But the professional photographer is one that documents the memory that the customer will have to look back and say this event was done.
So I'm going to ask you, comrade. I know there are some people who take this photography job, to the next level, or do I use the word extreme? Like, they could just go out, not like they actually have a place to go, or they're always with their camera, and they just see a beautiful scene or a beautiful thing or something unusual, and just take the picture. Now, I'll give you an example. There was this time, there was story that was trending about a lady with bread on her head, the agege bread in Lagos and all of that. And it just happened. I think there was this camera person that just saw like, oh, this is nice, and took it. And that was it. At some point, do you do things like this in your career where you just see something beautiful? It's not something you planned. You're going out and, you just decide to give a shot.
Sure. We create exciting memories. Like if we are going to the farm those days when we were small, we take pictures of animals in the bush or people playing, children playing football in the street. We normally take that and we call it those kind of photograph abstract photography. Those kind of photograph, you can even resell them. Then artists come to us to look for those kind of pictures to come and draw. Because if you don't capture, the artist will not see a picture that they want to actually draw. So most of those pictures that artists create are good pictures that photographers actually create. Like
I was actually going to ask you the relationship between the artist and the photographer.
Yeah, like the king, now the picture of a king. Most of the time when you see an artist drawing the picture of a king, the artist has to pass through the photographer. They say, do you have the picture of this so king? So that you can recreate the image as an artwork. So without photography, art is not complete. So photography is the one that complements the artist. So when we actually take those pictures, like several times I've seen the pictures of Igwe or kings. Some artists want to go and gift the Igwe a picture. They want to give a gift to the Igwe. They will not ask for the picture. They will not draw the picture to look exactly what the photographer actually draws. It's with that picture that the photographer captures that the artist will take as a medium of comparison to check whether this picture is actually looking at the Igwe. So without photography, an artwork is not complete. So many a time, photographers take those pictures just to create memories.
Okay. When you come to pictures, taking pictures these days or displaying pictures these days, you find that there's even there's these apps that have been created to, for this photography, to edit photography. So they edit it. So how does that complement with your own job as a photographer?
Normally, as the days go by, technology is meant to keep on improving things. The apps actually helps, though most of them are not professional. If you needed a professional one, there are programs and apps you needed to subscribe to. So that
I'm talking about the applications for photography, that you can use and remodel the picture, that kind of
that's the same thing I'm talking about. Most of them, you have them in the phone that you can use to edit, clean pictures and so on. But the difference is that as a professional, you needed a higher one, probably the one you subscribe and pay for, so that at the end of the day, the output, the resolution is actually what matters. It's not all about the beauty, but when you needed to use it professionally and you expand it, the ones that are used on phone, definitely, when you expand it, the resolutions definitely will show you that it's very low. But it helps a lot, but we need to use professional ones.
Okay, but how do you do it now? With this app, you can create a very ugly person to look very beautiful. Is this still what we are doing? Because for some people that want to get married, you send the picture to that person in Canada, he comes back and sees a different person. Okay, so how does that play out? Because a plus or a minus in your profession?
Yes. Okay, go ahead with the answers.
It's not really a plus. When it is used very well, it's a plus. Those things are meant to enhance a little, but not in such a way that you won't know the person anymore.
That's why I have a problem. So I have a problem with, okay, let me not use the word I have a problem, but you see, it's an issue where people, it's birthdays, we want to celebrate our birthdays, we're going to the studios, it's our wedding, we're going to the studios, and you get to see these pictures. So sometimes, I don't know if I should get angry with these photographers. Because they take these pictures, you said something about cleaning up those pictures, you make the person look so, will I use the word, so perfect. And you look at this picture and like, You can't even recognize yourself in this picture. And you're asking, in such cases, you as the photographer, what picture, what message are you trying to pass to the people out there? Because like I said, you make people look in a way they don't really look. Yeah. Is that right? Is that part of your profession?
Truly, a professional photographer will not actually make someone to look the way he or she doesn't look. All we do is to enhance. We add up a little. There's good in everybody. Most times they say it's condition that made crayfish to be bent. If you change your environment, you discover that you may refresh better.
Exactly.
So what we normally do is to touch, bring the thing up a little bit so that the person, you will see the inner beauty also at the same time.
What they do is to touch, bring it up, and make it look like you just change your environment.
Yeah.
All right, stay with us. It's Good Morning, Anambra. Let's go to the street. We had some people we had this discussion with about the celebration of the World Photography Day. We'll be right back.
Photography helps us, like sometimes we have people who have loss of memories. With the photographs, when they go back to it, they remember things. Just like our grandmothers and all that, when you show them those pictures, they'll be like, yes, I remember these. Pictures have really created loving memories for me. Pictures really reminds me of like olden days, my childhood, and friends, places I've been and all that.
Pictures tends to have a good memory right from birth to at least a period of his lifetime. It's a good memory for lifetime and his expectation of development. So pictures are also an idea of creativity in terms of nature. For example, if you take a look at developed country now, you take a look at the picture they have years back, so you can be able to understand the differences altogether. It makes them improve development in society, so pictures are very nice.
Basically, pictures is for remembrance. The reason why we take pictures is remember how you look like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. There are many benefits. Basically, an aspect of security. When pictures are being captured, it can serve as, they can use it to catch people that has done some frauds along the line.
Pictures created the joy for my life. I see my friends on the picture. I will say, this is my friend. I want to go and see him. Oh yeah, make you remember some certain things you forget. Oh yeah, make you get joy. Me even again a picture, or if your friend or your mother or your father.
It reminds me of my memories, as in it makes fun. Like now, if I bring my picture when I'm still little, I'll say myself, am I the one that is this?
Interesting one indeed. That at least some of the pictures I took those days, looking at them these days, I remember those moments I shared that very day. And at least you can remember things you've forgotten for a while.
World Photography Day is an annual event, worldwide celebration of the arts, crafts, science and history of photography. It is a day to pay homage to the history of photography, celebrate the present and leave a positive trail for the future. It is celebrated annually every 19th day of August. World Photography Day originates from the invention of the daguerreo, a photographic process developed by Louis Daguerre in the early days of the year 1839. The French Academy of the Sciences announced the invention as a free gift to the world on August 19, 1839. In Nigeria and in Anambra State in particular, it is a time we celebrate men and women behind the lens and all that has to do with camera. It is a time to showcase the prestige of the profession as well as its contributions to the contemporary society.
Pictures have really created loving memories for me. Pictures really reminds me of like olden days, my childhood, and friends, places I've been and all that. Photography helps us, like sometimes we have people who like have loss of memories. With the photographs, when they go back to it, they remember things. just like our grandmothers and all that. When you show them those pictures, they'll be like, yes, I remember.
All right, glad to have you back. You saw the people on the street had their own opinions and, contributions, and you also saw those beautiful cameras video. I must confess that, when you see a good picture, see a good video, you appreciate it. And the camera guys around the world, the photographers around the world are doing a good job. Good to have you back. I'm still here. IJ is still here with me. And, of course, our guest, Kalubia and Kamri Dubin, is still here with me. Both videographers and photographers. All right, quickly, because we don't really have time while we round off. Quickly tell us, Kalubia, the importance of photography and why you would, words you probably tell anybody who is aspiring to be a photographer. Quickly.
Okay, photography is very significant in the sense that it helps us to keep memories of past events. Like I was able to know my grandfather through the pictures of my grandfather and my grandmother because I never met them. So it was through the photograph that my daddy showed me and the enlargement that he made and placed on the wall actually made me to actually know the picture, how my grandmother and my grandfather looks like. Okay. So photography in this current world now helps us to document the memories of our events so that if you look back the hands of time and you now remember how you were, and exactly, and compare it to your current state.
Very, very important. Okay, for today, we are completely out of time. Please, your message for today. Today, that's your celebration. Just in 30 seconds, please. Let's go.
Today, we are wishing all the men behind the lens a happy Photographers Day. Let's appreciate everybody that snaps.
Okay, thank you.
All right, well, that's exactly where we'll draw the curtains in today's edition of the program. Time as it's not really our friend, but we have to go. The next program is coming up shortly. I want to say a very big thank you to our guest this morning, who's actually made it here with us to discuss about World Photography Day. Thank you so much for joining us, Comrade Obinna Okongwa, who's a videographer.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, thank you so much. Dennis Kalubia is also a photographer. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And of course, it's time to go. Thank God it's Friday, IJ. We're leaving.
Thank God it's Friday.
All right, man. We'll get to see you guys when? Probably in some few weeks now. And,
yes.
It's time for us to go for breakfast. But remember, don't do what we wouldn't do. Stay safe. We love you. And everybody who's actually joined us today, from the producer to those in the MCR, to the camera guys, to the floor manager, thank you so much for making it happen this week. We love you. Bye-bye.
World Photography Day is an annual event, worldwide celebration of the arts, crafts, science and history of photography. It is a day to pay homage to the history of photography, celebrate the present and leave a positive trail for the future. It is celebrated annually every 19th day of August. World Photography Day originates from the invention of the daguerreo, a photographic process developed by Louis Daguerre in the early days of the year 1839. The French Academy of the Sciences announced the invention as a free gift to the world on August 19, 1839. In Nigeria and in Anambra State in particular, it is a time we celebrate men and women behind the lens and all that has to do with camera. It is a time to showcase the prestige of the profession as well as its contributions to the contemporary society.
Pictures have really created loving memories for me. Pictures really reminds me of like olden days, my childhood and, friends, places I've been and all that. Photography helps us sometimes we have people who have loss of memories. With the photographs, when they go back to it, they remember things just like our grandmothers and all that. When you show them those pictures, they'll be like, yes, I remember this. You help them. It helps recall.
Photography today is practiced by many as a hobby, in the same manner as a noble profession. The industry has opened up a lot of employment opportunities to the teeming young population. This has not just created much employment, but has contributed a good percentage to the economic development of Nigeria. Photography have engaged many youth, especially male gender, thereby reducing the rate of crime in our society. Even though the profession requires a great deal of mentorship, most of the people do make it with little or no support. Today, we appreciate the work of photographers in creating, recording, and pressing images.